guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Takia Travis, and today I'll be talking to you about the JD Next program. I'm actually going to be creating a very short or mini series in telling information from my JD Next experience this past fall 2023, and I'll be sharing with you information that can be found directly on their website, which I'll be linking below in the description. So to get started, what is the JD Next program? Well, the JD Next program was created in 2019 by the University of Arizona School of Law. It's actually considered to be a learning program that's designed to measure what you can do versus what you may already know. The course is currently fully online and also includes a final examination that will help to expose students to the importance of fundamental reading and developing core analytical skills for law school. So I thought that this was very helpful for me. As I, researched the program and thought about participating, because again, any opportunity to have a better understanding of what to expect somewhat in law school is super beneficial, as I'm currently in my admission process. So with it being a fully online program, I was able to kind of talk with some of the facilitators of the program to get a better understanding of if this would be the right method or move for me to make as I'm preparing in this current admission cycle. And one of the goals that they said was to create more opportunity and access for students, regardless of race and class disparities, for law school. Because most of the time when you hear about law school admissions, there are a lot of people who unfortunately are not admitted, or they're having trouble with the LSAT and things like that. So this is specifically a program that's helped to make sure that people are able to succeed and gain exposure to resources that will set them up for success. And that was something that was really, really important to me. The program, since its inception in 2019, it's been peer reviewed, and it's been determined that this program has been a reliable and valid way to predict success in law school. It also produces little to no disparities in underrepresented groups, and students who have participated on average score 0.20 points higher on their law school GPA, regardless of if they took the final examination or not. And not to mention, most people are using this program as an alternative admissions pathway in addition to their LSAT or GRE scores. So as of today, there have been about 47 law schools who were granted variance from the standard 503. So instead of just accepting the LSAT or even the GRE for admissions, they'll also be reviewing your JD Next score if you did take the final examination. I registered for the course earlier in the fall semester, so I want to say maybe late August, early September when they first opened, because my course took place October and November, so it was roughly an 8 to 9 week online course. I paid $250 for it, and that included everything I needed for the course, so I didn't have to buy any external books or anything like that. Everything that I needed for the course was included, all of the online lectures. There was an awesome glossary that I could use that really helped me with like legal terminology and jargon, because the cases we read had so many terms that I was unfamiliar with. So that was really helpful. All of the quizzes are also included. Your final examination cost is also included in the cost of the class as well. The one thing that I did do that helped me, and this was something separately that I found, I actually went to the library and checked out the Black's Law Dictionary to really give me concrete understanding of the legal terminology that I was being presented with in different cases. While the glossary that they provided was helpful, because my background, I'm an English major, it's always helpful for me to have a more finite understanding of what terms mean, so that I can synthesize them in a way that is easy for me to understand. So a few other things about the course, what it includes. So we read a lot of common law cases. So if you're familiar, or maybe you're not, with like Hamer versus Sidway, we read so many cases, and it may not be as much as like what typical students would read in their first year of law school. The course that we took was a 1L contracts course, so like introduction to American law, like contracts law. So it was a lot of law cases. We had to, or some of our goals were to understand the legal facts that were presented in cases, key points of the law, understanding statutes, fact patterns. We use the FIRAC method. which most people will know as like the IRAC method. And it's pretty much the same thing, but sometimes people like mix it up. But we focused on the FIRAC, which is facts, the issues, the ruling, application or argument or analysis, and the conclusion. So really understanding what took place in the case and why it took place. We read comparative cases that had the same ruling. So it was very interesting, like making sure that you truly have an understanding of what's being presented in the case. And again, this video today is like just a very quick mini video giving you an understanding of what you should expect. I'll of course be going into detail a little bit more about like what week to week looked like in the course, because again, it's fully online. So a lot of the work that we did was independent, and that was for a majority of the course. While we did have access to facilitators and TAs to answer questions or to meet for office hours, that was really helpful, but it was expected that we really focused a lot on independent practice. So time management is so important for this course if you're going to do it, because all of your assignments, or at least this fall, all of our assignments were due every Sunday evening. And with them being due Sunday evening, that meant that during the week, if we had to read 2, 3, or 4 cases for that one week, you really had to make sure everything was done prior to the weekend, because again, people have technical issues. Something could happen with the system. You just never know, right? Because like we're always like on the go, moving around, busy. So time management is of the essence. Also, if you, let's say, don't submit your quizzes and things when they're due, you wouldn't be able to move on to the next week's assignment. Or if you had, let's say, week 3 and you had 2 classes during week 3, if you didn't finish part A of that, or class A, then you couldn't move on to class B. So again, like if you're thinking about doing this program, you really have to have some very solid independent practice skills, time management skills. Discipline is super, super important. We also were able to kind of have accountability, because when you submit all of your assignments, and they're not all due like one after the other, or you don't have to submit them consecutively, but when you do submit them, you're getting graded. So your TAs are going to submit your grades. We also had to submit discussion board posts. So when you submit a discussion board post, that's typically you briefing a case, or you're writing something from one of the videos that we would watch, like your opinion or your thoughts, and your classmates, your peers would actually comment on your assignments or on your discussion board post. So again, that's something that helps to hold you accountable. You could also read what other people were saying in their posts, so you can kind of continue conversation and form friendships or professional connections with other people who are going through this process as well. From there, all of our lectures were videoed. So they're pre-recorded lectures, and you can go back and replay them as much as you want. I personally enjoyed the lectures because I would pause while the professor was teaching and jot down notes directly what he was saying, opposed to just like what's exactly on the slides. Because again, I think that it's so easy to just write down what's on the slides, but when you're hearing something in a different way from the instructor, especially someone who has been in the process of creating the exams and the quizzes for the course, is going to help you get into their mindset when you're testing. So that's something that has really helped me a lot, and it's something that, in my opinion, supported my learning style. So I was able to watch the lectures as much as I needed to, especially leading up to the final exam, which I found to just be super helpful. There are also quizzes. So while you're watching the lecture, you would then have to take a quiz directly after the lecture based on the case that you read for that week, or the cases you read for that particular class. And then the professor would also, there would be a problem of the day that the professor would give you. And again, this is just to help to fortify the information that you're learning as a means to help you retain, because again, retention is everything. And that's something that I really value and I learned while taking this course. When you did complete your quizzes, you will be graded automatically. We did have access to retaking the quizzes as many times as we needed to get a 100, because again, they just want to make sure that you are understanding and able to apply what you are learning to the cases into the course. So you can retake them as much as you want. And again, you would have to submit the discussion board post. Your TAs, like my TA was so awesome. She gave me like real feedback on my cases. She told me when I was doing great. She told me when I was a little bit off. She really helped me to refine my FIRAC, my briefing, because again, like when you understand a case, or if you brief a case, you're essentially telling yourself or teaching yourself that you understand what's happening and why a ruling happened the way that it did, and what was the conclusion of the case. And it really helped me. So you'll be able to get the grades directly when you complete the quizzes. And I even recommend, like, once you finish the quizzes, if there's something you don't understand, it's always important to go back to the lecture, go back to the quizzes or the problems of the day, because they're going to set you up to have a better understanding of what the professor and the TAs want you to gain and to learn from this particular course. And again, having access to the TAs and the facilitators were just really awesome, because, like, again, most of our TAs were current law students, so they could really help you to understand what it is that you're being taught in this 1L, or this first year law students contract course, which is super important. Overall, I felt like the course really did for me what it was in or what it's intended to do, which is to provide students with resources, access, and experience. Coming out of the program, I do feel a bit more confident in my ability to perform. Hopefully during my first year of law school. So I felt like it was really good for me. And again, what I said is everything that I've stated about what I like or what was helpful is in my opinion and in my learning, and specifically for my learning style. I know that there are people in my course who have different learning styles, or who felt like things could have gone differently for what they particularly, needed. But again, this is just a quick introduction video into what the JD Next program is. I will be coming back to you guys with a few more videos on what you can expect if you do decide to sign up for the program. Do I think it's worth it to sign up? If you're very serious about law school and you think that you may want to use this, or the score from the final examination as part of your admissions application, yes, I think that this would be a great way to supplement in your application. You can add this to your resume. It shows, hopefully it will show admissions counselors that your sincerity and determination to get into law school, and that you're willing to make this investment in yourself for your future. So be sure to like the video, share the video, and subscribe, and I'll be coming back to you guys soon with part 2 of the JD Next program and my experiences. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye! Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share. I'll be bringing you guys part 2 really soon. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at myprofessionallife.